One and a two and a
Well, happy Sunday, happy Labor Day weekend if you're tuning in live or, on time on Sunday here on the Long Box Punk in the States, at least. I don't think other countries celebrate Labor Day. That's an American thing, right?
I forgot it was Labor Day.
Hey, surprise, tomorrow, if you work a job that's mandated by the post office, you're off. So you're welcome, potentially. But it's Sunday. We're live, so things like me having a brain fart and going on an immediate tangent are going to happen, and that's just what you get here on the show. You also get me. I'm Chris. I'm the punk, and joined. I'm not just joined by one, but two rad creators. I've got Aidan with an A over here. I've got Hunter down here, and we are going to be hanging out talking about all things with Team Canaveral. Right? That's the
Canaveral.
Is that right? Perfect. Like Cape Canaveral, but like Team Canaveral.
Oh
yeah. Right. All right. You should get like the NASA jackets, but just scratch off the cape and just write Team over top of it.
That'd be sweet.
With some like duct tape or something. Like make it super DIY. Because everything needs to have duct tape. I don't have any duct tape on this battle jacket, and I'm just now realizing that. High school me.
Is there any room for it?
Not really. I mean, I might be able to fit it like inside, right, to like reinforce the back. I don't know. I could figure it out. It's full though. I now have like pins and buttons that I'm putting in a baggie to save for the next one that I start. Because apparently, like that's what you do. You finish one, and then you move on to the next one. And I just. I got to figure that out because I don't know, man. It took me so long to get this one and then finally just pull the trigger. Like I'm making the jacket because I want it. And then I just spent a ton of time sewing on all the patches and everything. And I don't need to be telling you about my process. I want you to tell me about your process. So I'm going to flip this. We're going to spin me right round and we're going to go into the beginning of the show thing. And because we're starting a brand new stream here on the Punk, I want to start with like your origin stories. So how did you, and you can rock, paper, scissors for who goes first. It doesn't matter to me, but like, I want to know what's your origin story? How did the two of you get into comics, creating comics, and then starting Team Canaveral, and like what led us to the here and now in 2025?
Yeah. Well, back in 2020, I was trying to make like an animation studio, and I realized I was way over my head. So I kind of set out to do my other passion, which was comics. I'd been into comics for years by that point. Got really into it because I grew up watching The Walking Dead. And then I loved that so much. And I read the whole 193 issues before I was 14. Or I guess it wasn't finished by that point, but that's besides the point. And yeah, I realized that was something I wanted to work in. And I was like, let's run it, So I started TCS in 2020, but we've really been going this year. I got started going on that.
That's awesome. I love how frequently The Walking Dead comes up as like inspirations or people referencing like Kirkman's writing style, like all of the things that show or that book and the show and all the spin-offs and all the everything is like it regularly comes up, and I'm glad that I at least have read the first compendium. I didn't get through the whole shebang of everything, but I read the first compendium, so that counts, right? Hunter, what's up, man? What about you?
Well, I've been a comics fan my whole life. I remember being just a little bitty kid, and I picked up Ultimate Spider-Man for the first time, and I was immediately blown away by it. And I think I started reading it around the time that Miles became Spider-Man as well. So I quickly caught up and it just feels like I grew up alongside Miles as a character, and that just got me really into comics. Ultimate Spider-Man was great, and so I started branching out into more comics. I started reading DC stuff, indies as well, manga, all of it basically. But what made me decide to get into comics is a few years ago, I read Mark Waid and Brian Augustin's Flash run for the first time,
Okay.
and I got through it so quickly, and I'm like, I realized something, and that's I need to be involved with comics. Whatever I do for the rest of my life, it has to be involved with comics. And so I've been working. I've known Aidan. I've known Aidan for about 2 years now, and we bonded pretty quickly over our love of comics. And around that time, I started workshopping a comic strip series about social anxiety scenarios, and we finally got that out this year. And I've been working with Aidan on that. So
That's awesome. So what is the working relationship like? Because I know both of you have separate comics that you're creating that are both, different from each other. Like, how do you, or is it just like a sounding board that you utilize each other for? Like, what does that relationship work like?
I'd say it's pretty loose. It's a pretty loose working relationship, but like it's basically like hey, I'll think of like a cool thing. Hunter will tell me it sucks. He'll come up with something cool. I'll tell him it sucks, but like but, we just kind of work together. We think about what's best for both of our projects. This whole idea like of putting Dear Parker came from the fact that like hey, we're both small. Why don't we grow together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely and I don't remember where I first heard it, but there's that story of like if you have a single horse, it can only pull so much weight by itself. If you have two horses, they can only pull so much weight by themselves. But if you bridle them together and now they're pulling each other, it like quadruples the amount that they can pull. It's something insane, which is why good farmers always do that. There's a random piece of knowledge for you that sits in my brain rent free, apparently. I love that you two like did the Wonder Twins power activate and teamed up to. There's so many teams that I could have used there, and I don't know why I wrote the Wonder Twins.
Hey, we're the Wonder Twins.
It works.
It works.
Take it and run with it. Now you just got to figure out who's going to be the mop and who's going to be the bucket of water, which is my favorite transformation of all time. So let's start with Dear Parker, because the anxiety in the social anxiety that you put Parker through is super relatable and super fun. And there's the one of gosh, I don't remember the one that like talking about ordering coffee. And the person in the coffee shop is like, oh, yeah, I'll have a triple caramel frappuccino mocha frozen with 2 pumps and no sugar, but double espresso with an extra thing of whipped cream. And he's like, big coffee. I want a big coffee. That's me, dude. Like, that's why I drink black coffee, because I don't know how to order anything else.
I honestly, that whole comic, that one will be out in about 3 weeks, but that whole one was inspired by a tweet I saw that I thought was really funny.
Okay.
It was basically like, hey guys, I'm in the line for Starbucks. Forgot what a large coffee is. Can someone tell me, please, please, please? And then it was just this whole thread. And at the end, he's like, ask for a large coffee. And the barista told me to die. And I'm like, that's a Parker comic right there.
Parker.
That's awesome. Are all of the Parker comics based on like things that you've overheard or experienced or seen?
A lot of it is life experience because, I got anxiety myself. So,
woo, anxiety.
Yeah, baby. Woo.
Love it.
And I'm going to be overthinking that woo for the rest of the night. It's fine. It's totally fine. I saw a Threads earlier today. I think it was on Threads. But it was like depression says everything sucks. ADHD says do everything. Anxiety says, but I'm going to be bad at everything. And I was like, yeah, that's like the Captain Planet, like with your powers combined, I am the Longbox Plunk. And I was just like, yeah, the depression and the ADHD and then the anxiety on top of it all, just to stir up the pot. Like, you never know what's going to come out. And I'm sure, like, is working through any of those personal experiences through that comic strip, like, is that helpful for you? Like, is it like therapeutic?
100%.
And then like just getting out, do you have people like, how are those being released where anybody can find those?
I release a comic strip every 2 weeks on Global Comics and Tapas. I think I'm saying that right.
Cool.
Tapas.
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 Yes, I think that's right.
I think it used to be Tapastic at one point.
Well, I've got the global comics linked in the description, so people can at least find the global comics there for Dear Parker. Because like the coffee one is the one that just like it just sent me, man. I was like, I don't need to read anymore. That's everything I need to know.
The dubbed version especially is hilarious. The voice actors had a blast with that one. The one who voices the barista is actually a barista, and that's why I got him to do it. I thought it'd be funny.
I didn't know that.
I want to get into dubbing that, but I also don't want to leave Aidan hanging. So,
Yeah.
Aidan, talk to me about Gold Digger. Like, where did the story come from? Like, how long have you been working on it? What's it all about?
Yeah, ideas for GDI came out like early 2024.
Okay.
Because I was working on something else that I'm not so confident in yet, but I'll probably be returning to in the future. But I wanted to do like a very low stakes like comedy kind of thing, because what I was working on was so just heavy. I was like I need some like release, you know. So I wrote a little treatment, like a 12-page treatment about a guy that's like a complete jackass. That's kind of where Jack material comes from. He's a jackass. But like, and it was just so fun. I was like, I'm gonna keep going with this.
Yeah.
Like this is my bread and butter. I'm gonna leave that other thing in the WIPs for a minute. And eventually I was like getting sick of trying to save up money to get someone to draw it for me. So I just said, fuck it. I just sat down and started drawing it myself,
Yes, I love that. Like, that's the home run that I love when it comes up organically of the, like, I'm just going to do it myself. Like, hell yeah, you are, dude. Do it. Because it is a fun read. Like, it's really funny.
Thanks.
And I think it's got like that, the I don't know, that charm of like, we all know a jackass. And so seeing, like, reading comics, and this is just in general too, right? Of seeing things that we know in real life play out in a comic feels so much separate from real life that it's like, oh no, we can laugh about this. Okay, cool. But if you were to meet Jack in real life, you're like, I'm going to go over here and brood, Some people might just approach him and have a very hands-on. I'm more passive aggressive, so I'm the one that would like sit in the corner and kick paper footballs over towards him and try and get it in his beer or whatever. So
there you go.
That's more my style. Tell the people around me like, that guy's a jackass. Yeah, you believe this guy? That's my comfort wheelhouse all day. But so like with the two of you, like, are you going to be working on a comic that you're both like co-creating? Is there plans for that?
Should we say?
Yeah. We've been working on a little story for a while. It's in the same world as Gold Diggers Incorporated. I'm doing the script. I pretty much wrote the whole thing, but Aidan has helped me develop it a little bit just to make sure it fits in the world. And he's also going to be doing the lettering and some colors for it as well. We have a really great artist on board as well. His name's Max Simon.
Very good.
Really great guy to work with.
Very kinetic energy just in the action. It's I mean, the first issue, there's a lot of action in it, whereas GDI is mostly comedy. Chainbreaker's all just like balls to the wall, just action. And Max's art style just goes so good with it. It just looks brutal. It's really like tonally the opposite, but even though it takes place just miles away,
It's awesome. I mean, that's super true to life too, right? Of just like, I living in the suburbs. I'm like, oh, everything's quiet. And then like 3 streets over, people are getting stabbed behind a bar because that's what happens in my hometown is people get stabbed. So,
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Aidan already said the name. It's called Chainbreaker. I wanted to write it because I'm very angry about the state of the world, and I wanted to write something that goes against that completely.
Yeah. Chainbreaker. I like it. That's a cool name too. Yeah, I'm writing it down for future me. Like, what's it? So, having gone from working on your own projects and bouncing ideas back and forth to now working on the same project, has your approach to creating changed now that you're like working on the same thing, or do you still have the same approach because you've gotten used to working with each other before?
I think it's more or less the same approach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, like my number 6 issue of GDI comes out next month, and I had to alter some things to kind of like help out the development of Chainbreaker, but mostly it's stayed the same. We're still just loose with it, just trying to take it one day at a time, have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the whole point, right? Is like, yeah, we're making comics and there's a business aspect to it, but if you can't have fun doing it, why are you doing it?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's been one of my life mottos just for years, of like, if you can't have fun doing it, what's the point? And sometimes I get back to it. I'm like, yeah, but now I'm an adult and like some things aren't fun. And then the other me is like, yeah, but fuck that. I'm going to have fun. Like, I just want to have fun.
I mean, that's your whole point in running this show, right? You have fun talking to everyone that comes on.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm not, if ever I get to a point where I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to dial it in. Welcome to Love. Like, I'm just going to stop doing it because that's not good for anybody. Me caffeinated and having fun talking to people about comics is way better. And it's definitely still where I'm at. And, figuring out rhythms and stuff. And I've got some announcements I need to make later this week. Spoiler alert, find me on social media so you can find out what that is. But like, sometimes stuff has to change in order to grow and get better. And like, I just kind of hit that in a wall this past weekend. So, but like, I'd never want to just settle either, right? Like, yes, having fun is good, but I also want to always be getting better. That's why it was important to me to get a custom theme song and intro video and stuff. Shout out to Rolling Squid Bones and Chris Albright for putting that together and hooking it up. But it just like it added an extra 5% that now I'm like, yeah, cool. I have this custom thing, and every time it plays, I can't help but groove to the bass line. And I love that. So like, that's exactly what I wanted. So always moving forward and progressing, I think, are important things too. Like, are there steps that you want to take? Because now that you've been putting stuff out consistently for the year, and I think it was on the Substack that just posted like a couple days ago that Aidan, I think you said like in its first year, like as a publisher putting things out, it's already grown immensely and we've got plans for the future. Like, are there milestone steps that you're looking to take as like a corporation, a group of, I don't know, it's like a murder of crows, like, but like, are there milestones that you're looking to take as a entity that you've already got mapped out?
We definitely have some milestones. Some of it we want to keep close to the chest, but otherwise, like it's all just about being consistent. And that's one thing I'm just like beating into TCS is just consistency. Like if you go back and you look at all my like what I've released so far, I make sure every month. And if it's not out for the month, I'm letting what few readers we do have know, like, it's on hiatus for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ahead of time. So like, honestly, it's not as much milestones as it is just consistency in what we do. And if we feel we can consistently do more, then we will do more. As our reader base grows bigger, as people come in and are like, hey, this looks pretty tight. Like what you think I could get in on this? Why not? It's just all about growing in our consistency.
Yeah. I love I just watched Zombieland again with like the rule list thing. And one of the rules that he adds is the celebrating small victories. Like, that is so clutch especially when you're making anything, because it might take, 6 months for a comic to be completed. And that whole time you're working towards the same goal. And if you don't celebrate the small victories, then suddenly it could be really discouraging. And like, that's not what you want. So, but like, speaking of the consistent approach and and continuing to move forward, like I want to go back to the dubbing of the Dear Parker thing. Like how did that stuff all come to be, Hunter? Like what? That's awesome. How is it like a motion comic with like the panels that are it's like scrolling across the panels? Like how does it all
Yeah,
work?
pretty much. So the funny thing about Dear Parker is it very quickly became a series where I had voice acting in mind for it.
Mm,
Because the other thing I do in my life is voice acting. I've been
okay.
doing that on and off since 2019, but in 2022 I kind of like finally made a plunge to do it and stay consistent at it. So I've been at that since. But with Dear Parker, it voice acting just became such a big part of the process that we actually record the audio as soon as the scripts are done, and then I hand the audio off to the artist working on it.
Oh, that's
So it's
awesome.
very much made with the voiceover in mind.
That's cool. And like,
Mhm.
what's the delivery for the voiceover stuff?
Usually I just get in a call with them on Discord and I direct them.
Okay. Yeah, because I would imagine that's a very remote leaning position
Yeah,
process to put together.
a lot of the voice actors are local to my area because I thought it'd be very interesting if the main cast of the series were a group of friends. So
Mm,
it may be seen as nepotism, and I get that. I get if there's any criticism on that. But I wanted to get people that I knew were close to each other as the main cast, and I think that's worked out very well so far.
yeah. There is a certain spark that happens with a cast that knows each other versus a cast that don't know each other prior to a production. Having done theater in the back in my past and like working
Yeah,
movies and stuff, like that's very prevalent, and you don't know it if you like. It's easy as an outsider to be like, "Oh yeah, sure, it's just friends working with friends." It's like, yeah, but that's the point. Like, this the point is to have friend because you get a better production, you get
yeah,
a better delivery, you get a better product. Like everything goes easier, everything goes smoother. There's not the weird like, oh, Bill's not fitting in with everybody else. What's up with Bill? Like you don't have any of that stuff. I don't know anybody named Bill, so that's not a direct, subtle, passive aggressive.
that's my real name.
Damn it. But I just like I think it's cool that you're turning your comic strips into the whole shebang. Like are those being are those also being published like through a Substack or through like does
They're,
Global Comics do video?
no, they're just on YouTube and TikTok. I couldn't remember it for a second. Aiden was telling me we should put them on TikTok, and I'm like, you got it, pal.
Put 'em there.
Denzo.
And we're
Just
doing something. We're planning on doing something similar with Chainbreaker as well. It's not going to be like a full dub or anything because that's a whole comic issue.
Yeah.
But we're doing some promotion for it that involves voice actors, and I already cast the voice actors for that too. So
That's awesome.
Eventually, GDI will get a couple little shorts as well for ads, but I think that's the best way to show off comics through advertisement because they're such a static medium.
Mhm.
So I feel that the best way to do it is to add something to the staticity. Is that a word?
Sure. Yeah, it is now. Status. What was it? Statisticity?
Staticity.
Yeah.
But if you add something like special to that, where it creates a whole new thing, and
Yeah.
that's why I was telling Hunter literally today. I was like, it's such a unique thing what the team behind Dear Parker's doing. I've never seen it done before. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, but like it's unique, and that's why I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love comics that push the medium and do things that are different. That's why I love asymmetrical page layouts and quite frankly, like the Watchmen 9-panel grid or 12-panel grid, whatever panel grid that every single page is in, like puts me to sleep. It just come on, like give me some dynamic something on. You have a blank page, and I understand the like anxiety of just, oh no, I got to fill this page with stuff. But as a reader, when a creator can do something unique on the page, so I love Andre Sorrentino's work because his page layouts are so in just like bananas bonkers crazy that I have never seen any other artist do anything close to what he's doing, and it makes me a fan of his because I can't always tell what's happening because he's very detailed as well, and he uses like very thin line weights, So there's a lot of line work when he wants to use it, but what he's doing on a page is different, and it just draws me in. Everything that he makes, I'm gonna check out, because it's just exciting to see somebody doing something different with that. And I'm curious, man, I'm just flowing. With comics and creating anything, there's always influences. And I'm stealing the Mount Rushmore of influences. Like, if the two of you had to list a Mount Rushmore of influences on your comics, on your art, on your approach to creating, I want to hear who those 4 Mount Rushmore people would be. Whew. Or groups or organizations, or, it doesn't have to be a single, if it's a band, that's fine. Man, under the bus, Hunter goes.
I gotta think.
Man, it is so hard to pick just 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking here. This is a good question. I would say Mark Waid is obviously up there.
Okay.
I love all of his comics work. His work with his work on The Flash, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all of that's super good. Dennis Camp is... I know he's newer to the scene. I just started seeing him around a few years ago. He has put out some revolutionary books, complete game changers. Absolute Martian Manhunter is insane. It does things that can only be done with comics.
Yeah.
And The Ultimate says a lot of stuff a lot of mainstream comics don't. And Assorted Crisis Events is so good. As for the other 2, I would say Brian Michael Bendis. I grew up with his works. I've read so many of his books, and they're all just incredible.
Yep.
As for the 4th one, it's a tiebreaker, but I'm going to say Rumiko Takahashi. I grew up with Inuyasha, Ranma 1/2, all great series. Oh, I contradicted myself. I'm going to contradict myself a bit here. I grew up with Inuyasha. I've been reading all of her other works lately, and I just love the storytelling there. I love her art. It's so iconic. And yeah, hard to pick just 4, but if I had to name 4, that's it.
Yeah, that's why I like the challenge. Because it's something that's like, oh God, I can, it's easy to rattle off, like, here's 17 people, bands, musicians, like movies, whatever, that have influenced how I see things. But to just limit it to 4 is very difficult. Aidan, have you had enough time?
Oh yeah. I mean, just off the bat, like, my biggest inspiration, Hirohiko Araki, like on JoJo's. That's my favorite series of all time. It's just the fact that he's still going all these years later, and it's still like the same quality of work, even though it's changed over time.
Sure.
I love how his art style has changed. I also gotta give big ups to Marco Cicchetto. That's a big influence of mine as well. What Peach Momoko does with covers is also very eye-grabbing. I got to give her props. And then maybe if I had to pick one more, I mean, we've all just read so much Alan Moore. Like his Swamp Thing is another big inspiration for me. If I want to write more serious, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've all read so much of him.
Yeah,
4 is just so difficult.
It is. It turns out it's not as easy as it sometimes feels like it could be or should be. You're going to get me on a wild tangent with horror. Go ahead, Hunter. Get me off the soapbox, man.
I got to turn it around and ask you, who's your 4?
There you go.
Okay, so...
I thought you had it already.
Well, yeah, but that was last time I talked about it. I've been thinking differently and about different stuff in the past week and a half or whatever. So I don't even remember when that came up the last time or the first time. And now, of course, that was with Elijah Joseph on the 24th. So just last week.
Oh,
but which, if you haven't, it was an insanely good conversation.
I just backed this Kickstarter.
Yeah, you did.
The print is not dead. That one.
Yep. Yeah, dude, we went deep into just how he curated that and put that together. So I love that just overlapping Venn diagrams of indie comics. Like, it's the best. It's just the best. Anyway, so for my Mount Rushmore, Robin Williams is usually pretty close to the first one that I always will mention, because he was so dynamic. And the more that I like learn about his life and how he lived, and then knowing what he did in his performances, it's just there are things that he had happen that I don't want to have happen with my own life as a people pleaser and someone who likes to put smiles on faces, but also deals with the anxiety and the depression and all that shit. And so like, I just don't like, I want to learn and grow through his experiences. And like, just some of my favorite movies of all time are his. And so the manic energy that he brought to stand up, I'm so happy I saw him. I paid like a stupid amount of money and I saw him in the third row when he came to Cincinnati on his Weapons of Self-Destruction tour. And it was the best. Like I laughed until I literally wasn't making any noise anymore. Like it was gone and I laughed myself out. So Robin Williams is always going to be in there. See, and this is where like for comics, it's hard not to say Matt Kint. He's my favorite creator. His cartooning work with like doing that artwork and writing on stuff is insane. And the way that his mind works is just like so far past anything my mind could put together that I'm just in awe of like what he comes up with. Sorrentino's probably because we just talked about Sorrentino. I don't think he was even came to my mind last time, but the way that he approaches his artwork and pushing boundaries and doing things differently to tell stories in a unique way. Like I like that a lot. And I would love to tell, even if it's the same story that's happened a bajillion times, because all art is just replication of other art. I would love to do it in a way that is as attention grabbing as his work is. And then for my fourth one, probably Blink-182, but for a different reason than I said last time. Because I read the Mark Hoppus's Fahrenheit 182, which if you have any interest or fandom of Blink at all, God, read that book. It's insanely good. I was laughing, like I'm an audiobook person because I like actual novels take me 7 years to read. And so I audiobook everything and I get it done like a week and a half.
There's no pictures. I'm not reading it. All right.
Super fair. Well, they do have a pre-order deluxe of his book that just came out that comes with a full like unreleased photo album on top of it. So you could like flip the one page and then keep reading and flip the, you know what I'm saying? There's ways. But like I was on my commute to and from work, and on the way to work, I would be laughing hysterically at a story. And on the way home from work, I would be like fighting back tears because he was talking about just the heartache that they went through as a group. And the way that they, even in the midst of just the challenges and everything that was going on and the inner turmoil, they're like grit of like, no, this is our band. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is where we're going. We're going to continue to persevere and we're going to have fun doing it. Like, that's it. So those would be my four for today, as of, Sunday, August 31st at 8:04 p.m. If you ask me tomorrow, it could probably be different, but yeah, it's just a fun, I think it's a good question too, because it for me digs into like where people came from. And then like you both mentioned mangaka. Is that how you say it?
Mangaka.
Yeah, mangaka.
Okay, mangaka. All right. So it's it's like a mangaka. More like a machine gun than something that shouldn't be Googled. But like I like it, you saying that, I'm like, ooh, Akira Toriyama though. Like I grew up watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
and
number 5.
me too. Yeah.
So
number 5.
Yeah, like that it would be hard not to put him on there, but then it's like, well, did he influence stuff or am I just a really big fan? Because I feel if you're asking me like my top 4 Mount Rushmore things that I'm a fan of, answer's different. And so that's difficult.
Yeah.
But like, again, with Toriyama, the consistency, the quality of work, the just impact that it had of like, if everything sucked, I knew I could put on Dragon Ball Z. I knew what I was getting. I knew that the bad guys were going to lose. and that Goku was going to turn the bad guy into a good guy. Like I knew that every time, and I liked that predictability. It was comfortable, and so like that's my comfort show. Anytime I'm, feeling not great or whatever, I'm like, all right, I'll just put on Dragon Ball and I'll reorganize my comics, and like that's what I do.
Who's your favorite villain then of all the sagas? Who's your favorite villain?
Oh, I love Cell.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
I met his English VA one time when I was a kid.
Yeah,
at a Comic-Con. He was nice.
That's
nice
awesome.
Guy.
I met the guy that, and of course I can't think of his name, the guy that voices Goku. He's in Cincinnati like every other year, and so that's our local con for big celebrities and stuff. And I met him 2 years ago, and I was like, man, I'm out of money. I just wanted to Sean Schemmel. Yes. Yeah. I was like, I just want to meet you and like shake your hand and tell you like your voice was the soundtrack of my childhood. My wife leans in, she was like, his whole life. And, then, and I was like, babe, come on. I'm trying to. She's right though. Yeah, it's my whole life. And he was like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that's great. He was super like quiet. He was out in front of his table, which was awesome. Because he was just like, yeah, let's take pictures. Let's do that. I don't want to stand behind the desk and not be able to interact with people. He was hugging people and high-fiving kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was super cool to see. Like, that's what you want to see.
It's that Goku energy.
Yeah. Like, that's what Goku would be doing. He would be like, oh, my gosh, this is so great.
Yeah.
No. So Cell for Hunter. Aidan?
I mean, God, you just got to give it to Frieza. That's kind of how I feel. If you want to go back older, Mercenary Tao was cold.
Oh, dude.
But like Frieza, like you can't beat him because he's the one guy Goku hasn't been able to turn yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
he's the true. Like,
that's some end game shit. Like at the very end, that should be the last thing they do. They got to turn Frieza. Like, you know what I mean? At some point, narratively.
Right. To completely close the circle so that Goku really is like the best hero of all time.
Yeah.
Because I love that like the people that are in his crew now, he was fighting as villains in Dragon Ball. Oh, yeah. So, and then like early, I've always loved Raditz because, oh my God, a Super Saiyan 2 Raditz would be dope as hell. Like he'd have so much freaking hair.
Like, I mean, with Raditz specifically, I like what he represents in that like Goku, because this is the opposite of Superman, right? Superman like loves both worlds. Goku does not give a fuck about the Saiyans.
Yeah.
He knows there's like 4 or 5 of them left, and he's so happy to kill the one that's related to him. like if it means defending Earth, he'll do it, and he'll sacrifice himself at the same time. Spoilers to anybody that hasn't seen Z yet, but like.
Listen, that was the Saiyan saga like way back in what 88. Come on. Come on. If this is new to you, you're in the wrong YouTube channel. You can just leave now. I'm not even going to be offended. You should just go watch Dragon Ball instead because it's insanely good.
Oh yeah.
Have you kept up with Super?
Dude, I so here's the thing. So I finished the anime, and then like I want to go back. Or I want to continue it from the manga, but then what people have told me is that the manga is a whole experience from like beginning to end. You know what I mean? Like apparently, like Goku Black plays out differently. Tournament of Power plays out different. So it's like what am I gonna do? But spend $1 billion to read Moro and Granola, all that. Like I've read not the synopsis, but like I understand what Granola is about, and that sounds killer. Like I want to read that so bad, but it's like I can't bring myself to spend all that money in space that I don't have.
Dude, right? All I'm saying is the Shonen Jump app, $1.99 a month. You have access to all the chapters.
$1.99. I didn't know it was that little. Like
I didn't either.
$1.99, y'all. Same goes for the Viz app.
Marvel DC, they charge like $10 a month. I didn't know Shonen was $2.
I think Shonen might be $2.99 actually. I might be misremembering. I'm not sure.
Don't be lying to me, Hunter. I'm writing this stuff down, man.
Right, you're fired, dude.
Well, I'm subscribed to Viz, and that's $1.99 a month. So I think Shonen might be the same. But I think Shonen might be $1 more. I don't remember.
That's not too bad. If only I had an iPad or something. You know what I mean? I can't read it on this.
Like, I read it on my computer.
Ooh.
You can use the
yeah.
just
$2.99.
changing lives out here, man.
Free advertisement for Viz and Shonen or
You're welcome.
Shueisha.
You're welcome, Biz.
I'll happily talk about Shonen or Viz or anybody else that wants to give me money. Like, go ahead. Liquid Death. I know I've been harping on it for a while, but
I've never had Liquid Death before.
yo, as soon as I tried it, this Dr. Death specifically.
What flavor is that?
So the flavor it's called Dr. Death, but it's basically like it's just a flavored sparkling water, but it tastes like a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Like, is it sweet?
Oh,
Like it's straight Diet Dr. Pepper. It's insane. Yeah, it's like naturally sweetened with something. Come on, I'm really good at this pitch. Liquid Death. You should definitely. Where is it at?
I'll get one when I go to work tonight.
And it doesn't kill you.
It doesn't kill you. It's natural agave that does the sweetening.
Wow.
It's great. It's so good. 20 calories, no sugars added. Okay, yeah. Me and my old age, I'm happy to drink that and see no sugars added. But yeah, I haven't had a flavor of Liquid Death that I don't like. Like I've tried their teas. The teas are really good. And the branding's badass. Like it's metal as fuck. Come on.
Listen, the whole thing was made to curb your awkwardness for not having a beer at a party, right? Like
Yeah.
I think I've heard that.
Yep. Yeah. The guys that started it were like, we want to be able to drink water at a metal concert, but still feel like badasses and not get the social shun with the anxiety of like, I'm just drinking some crystal water. Like and so they created Liquid Death. And now all the branding looks like the badass, like 70s metal band painted album covers, but it's it's on the 6-pack cardboard carton that their cans come in. It's insane. Like their whole branding they got me. That's what drew me in was the branding. And I was like, oh, that skull's pretty cool. Oh, Dr. Death, Chainsaw Cherry. Okay. And like everything is just mango madness. It's all like ridiculous titles and they're really good. So all that to say, anybody who wants to pay money, I will happily talk about your product just like that, if I was sponsored by Liquid Death, which I'm totally not, but I could be. Call me.
Sponsor him.
Hi, metal.
I'm a water drinker through and through, but like you might have sold me.
Listen, they've got still water. They've got just unflavored sparkling. It's all there, and it all comes in aluminum cans because aluminum, unlike some plastics, is recyclable forever. Like it's infinitely recyclable.
We love the earth.
And they take a portion of every can that they sell and they reinvest it back into removing plastic waste from the oceans. Like it's a freaking quadruple win is what I'm saying. And I should work for them because that was like a 5-minute rant on Liquid Death and why you should buy it and drink it because it's great.
I'm sold. I'll get one when I'm at work tonight.
Let me know
what I think. I'll let you know what I think.
and then like tag them like, this long box punk guy was talking about you. You should totally you should totally do the thing. Have there's no easy transition back to comics from this, but this is what we call a transition. Speaking of easy things to get lost in, one of the things that stood out to me, especially like knowing that it's on Global Comics, it makes total sense. But Hunter, did you always set out for the vertical scrolling format?
Yeah, I felt like since it's a comic strip, I felt like a vertical scrolling format would work best for it. So the funny thing is, I'm not actually a big fan of the vertical scrolling format for the most part. Like,
okay,
I can't do it. It doesn't click with my brain.
But like, it definitely takes an adjustment. Yeah. I mean, we've been reading left to right though for our entire lives.
Exactly. That's how I do it. That's how I like it.
So I get it. It's only, and this goes back to Matt Kent. It's only because I'm one of his Patreon people that like he publishes a web comic there and it's vertical. And like, that's the only other thing that I read that's vertical. And then, so now I'm getting used to the vertical format more. And so now it's easier for me to read stuff on like Webtoons or Global Comics that are in the vertical scrolling format. Because it's like, okay, well, if Matt Kidd can do it, like my brain can make sense of it for his comics. So I can make sense of it forever. Because I legit was like, I'm not reading vertical. Who does that? Like, no. And then Matt Kidd was like, I do. And I was like, damn it. Now I got to figure out how to read vertical.
I never knew people had an issue with vertical.
I just can't. It doesn't. My brain. It's not bad or anything. So my brain doesn't click with it.
I mean, I kind of get it, but like when I used to read comics like pirated,
Unbelievable.
Like
borrowed from the library.
Yeah, whenever I used to legally purchase on comics on Read Comic Online, like they were always vertical. Like that's just kind of how I assumed everybody read them. I have GDI the same way, just because I thought that was the way to read them. But here you two are both telling me that sucks donkey ass. Like,
and let me tell you, this guy always buys his comics physically now. Like always buying them physically.
I can't.
So you're not on my piracy radar anymore. You're in the clear.
I'm on the shore. You know what I mean? I'm on the shoreline.
Nice.
It's good. I know some people in the pirate waters that would take out the pirate ship that you're trying to sail on. So I'm glad that you're on the shore and you're safe, because it's just safer here. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can show your library some love and you don't have to pay anything, and you get to read them legally for free. Like,
man, I just picked up my pull today and there's like 7 comics, and I'm like, yeah. I'm just used
$25.
Actually, $45.
Ooh, man, the prices, dude, it's insane. The last time I went to my shop, it was when I actually like canceled my pull list. Don't tell, because I'm backing so many Kickstarters that's all of my comic budget. Because yes, I budget for comics every month. Because
I do too. I get it.
I'm a boring adult. Yeah. It's the mature thing to do. Wife.
Yeah.
She was like, you have a budget line for your comics? I'm like, yeah, I have to, because otherwise I'm just going to buy all of them, and you don't want that. You already give me grief for anyway. I love my wife. I'm in a loving relationship. Everything's great. But the last time I went, I spent like $90 at my comic shop.
Oh my god.
And how? It was very easy, actually. I walked out with like a trade, which honestly was one of the cheaper trades that I could have gotten, but it was a nice hardcover of the like Marvel Lost Archives of the old like 50s horror comics that they were doing.
Oh shit.
And so I was like, I gotta
Is
get
it approved
this.
by the CCC though?
I think it was pre-Comics Code, which is my jam. Like that's if I had a bajillion dollars, I would just hunt down raw floppy pre-code horror comics, and like that would be what I spent all my money on, because I love them. I love the smell of them. I don't even care if that makes me weird. I crack them open and I just take it.
All that mold,
the horror. Oh yeah, give me the dungy paper smell. If I could capsule that into a candle, I would make millions, because I would buy all of them and just spend millions on them. But yeah, so I bought that. I bought a handful, like maybe 4 or 5 floppies, and I stocked up on bags and boards. And that's how you get to however much. And like that was with my discount too. Like he gives me a discount because I buy so much from him that like I get it just a built-in like 15% off. And that was after the discount. And so I was cool. Okay. This is why I got to cancel my pull list, Jeff. I'm sorry, man. But if you're ever in Cincinnati, go see my friends, Jeff and Matt at Queen City Comics, and tell them I sent you, and they'll be like, who? That's not true. They know I've been going there for like 15 years regularly. They know who I am. But yeah, like I get it though. 'Cause it's difficult to make the switch from physical to digital, and then even from digital to like horizontal reading to vertical reading, because it all works differently. But I have found out of necessity, because again, I'm out of space, that I'm reading more and more digitally, but I do read them on my laptop. I tried on my phone, and I got to flip it horizontal and zoom in, and then I still don't get the full effect of a page. And so like, well, this isn't going to work. So I switched to the laptop, because my wife always has our tablet, and so she's always watching Cooking or Andy Griffith or something on it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I won't read comics on that then. but I'll read them on my laptop and it works out just fine because I get basically the full 2-page spread, and you advance it as you would with just a click of the right arrow thing, and you can go back and whatever. I have a free comic reader app that I use. It's great. But with like webtoons and stuff, I've seen a couple that play with the vertical format.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I know that this is vertical. So instead of having a splash page horizontally, it's like they have a vertical splash page that you don't see until as you're scrolling. You're like, oh, it just keeps like the art is all connecting as there's, dialogue or thought bubbles or whatever that come down as you're scrolling through. I'm like, that's a fun use of the vertical scrolling technique because I just wasn't used to it until the last COVID.
Yeah.
When I couldn't get out, and then I was like, where do I find free comics? I need to read more comics. I don't have enough comics right now. My wife was like, chill out, babe. But that's when I got into global comics and webtoons and started reading that way. So, but yeah, it's not that vertical stuff sucks. It just
Oh yeah, for sure.
change for my brain. Having
Exactly.
only ever read analog, physical, but now I've found comics that are taking chances with the size or the ratio of the page instead of being the vertically reading, it's horizontal. It's the same size as a regular comic, but it's a horizontal read instead of a vertical read. And even that, they play with a super wide pan or wide screen image. You're like, oh, this is different and dope. I like it. So it's all out there. It's just having fun with the medium and circling back of like doing different things with comics. And that's the beauty of comics is you can do stuff like that and take risks. So
it's an infinite plane. As long as there's nothing to do with sound, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sound effects and stuff, but yeah, alliterations, right? Like you can do different things that as the reader reads it, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. I have immense respect for letterers because until I talked to a letterer who was like, I do my job well if you don't notice the words. I'm like, well, how would I not notice the words in a comic book?
I've heard that before too.
I started paying attention. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. it just clicks. So, but are there things that the two of you prefer doing as far as creating, whether it's writing or doing the art or doing lettering or coloring or editing? Are there roles or hats that you prefer to wear? I'm
a writer primarily. I'm doing a little bit of editing work for stuff that hasn't been announced yet for the collective, but I'm also trying to learn how to letter, so that's been fun. I'm trying to get that to click in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for me, my favorite step, honestly, is the line art. Like I think that's where I've improved the most over the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, like when I sit down and I finish like a line art, even before I throw the color on it, I'm like this is about what I want it to be, and I can tell when I want something to be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think line art is what I like to do the best, for sure.
That's cool. And I mean, they always say like the more you do something, the more you flex that muscle, the better it's going to be, and the more comfortable with your own process you'll get. And it's just just keep working on your craft and do the thing. And so I just talk to people all day, every day, and it works out well. Like that's me working on my craft. My wife's like, shut up. No, but I got to practice, babe. It's a muscle. You got to get used to it. I don't know why I throw shade at my wife so much, just as an aside. Like I shouldn't. She's insanely supportive. It's just easy. It's cheap heat is what it is. But that's fine. I think I started this thought and then I got distracted because that's what I do. The two of you both mentioned mangakas. See, back to that. What are there series that you feel are like everybody should read?
Oh yeah,
Hunter's got opinions.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start rapid firing mangas off the top of my head.
Okay.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, obviously. Vinland
Mhm.
Saga, Dragon Ball, Ranma One Half. That's the series that inspired Scott Pilgrim. I mean, it shows. Free Ren's great. I love Free Ren, and I got one more, but I'm trying to get out of my brain. Man, my brain's not working. It seems I had it and I lost it.
No Chainsaw Man.
I was actually going to bring up another Fujimoto manga. It's a one shot called Look Back. It's incredible. Fujimoto's works generally are incredible. Goodbye Aries, incredible. I love Chainsaw Man. You got it, Aiden. Thank you.
That's Look Back came up. I just talked to somebody about that because they were like, yeah, the guy that did Chainsaw Man actually has this better book called Look Back. And I was like, okay, so I need to apparently get my hands on that to read it.
It's an amazing read. It's never devastated and inspired. Nothing has ever devastated me yet inspired me so much.
Awesome. Sounds heavy. Do you guys read Junji Ito?
I have not read a single Junji Ito book yet.
Oh, dude, get on Amigara Fault. That's fire.
Okay.
That's a one shot. That'll take you 30 minutes to get through. It's fire.
I've read Uzumaki, but everyone's read Uzumaki, I feel.
Everyone's read Uzumaki.
Yeah. That was my intro because everybody said like Uzumaki, like that's where you gotta go. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Tommy's good.
I just picked up this one, The Luminal Zone. I haven't read it yet.
I want to pour deeper into Junji Ito.
Yeah, I was so hooked by just like I'm not a well-versed manga person, but I'm trying to be better and like know some quintessential stuff because I haven't read JoJo's is on my list to get to because I have heard several people be like, it's fantastic. Same
you gotta
reason
run this back once you read it all.
Hold on. I got a recommendation. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab it from my box.
Perfect. See, this is the beauty of life because stuff like this happens and now we all get to experience the discovery together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
but like I went on as soon as I read Uzumaki, I was like Junji Ito, like, oh my God, visually it's insane. What else? And then I was like, oh God, he wrote like 500 different things. Okay, I'll just pick and choose and I'll try and get the same. So I'm trying to get the same format of like they're all hardback. I don't want to get any soft cover, anything from him because they look good on my shelf together when they're all just nice. And I'm like, oh, that's my very terrifying, creepy manga collection. That's
what I love about Japanese manga. Like, don't get me wrong, I love American comics as much as the next guy, but they're very much built for like, collectors. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Japanese market caters so much more to like a reader, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the hardcovers are always like even so much cheaper. They're small and compact. And then they always look good on the shelf, like you said. All your creepy little Junji Ito creatures living in the hardcovers. It's just they fit. They're so good for the consumer. Yeah, like I love the hardcover market when it comes to manga because and
it feels so nice. Like this is the right size I want in my hands to read. And don't get me wrong, I have some of the giant like oversized artist edition books, and like those are super nice to look at. But what is the
yeah I was gonna recommend, if you want, it's
Ultimate X-Men.
It's kind of manga inspired, but it's very inspired by Japanese folklore. Ultimate X-Men, amazing book.
Thrilling.
It's my favorite X-Men book we've gotten in years. It's incredible. I would say it's flawless. I literally have no issues with Ultimate X-Men, and almost no book is perfect to me. And Peach also did Demon Days, Demon Wars. It's definitely mirrored because of the. I wanted to show it off because the art alone is just incredible. Like,
I mean, look how fucking big it is compared.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, the size difference is quite apparent.
It's like treasury size. You know what I mean? Like
that's awesome.
I'm gonna post this side.
I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, the Ultimate X-Men I heard was just like, and knowing that it's Peach and she's doing everything, I was like, okay, yeah, give it like X-Men for me. And I'm an X-Men kid. I grew up on Jim Lee and Claremont's later Claremont runs, but like the X-Men animated series and then the X-Men Adventures comics, all of it, like it fell, but I have a Wolverine tin poster that goes in the middle, but like it's all 90s X-Men, and my X-Men are best when they're doing weird shit. And so hearing like it's a little weird, I'm like, good. Like it should be. It's the X-Men. Like you have Goop. Are we forgetting about Goop?
Everyone forgets Goop, but Goop is the most essential X-Men of all. People forget. Marvel Studios, put him in the movie.
Put him in the movie. Goop or we riot.
Yeah, no. And then Ultimate X-Men, what makes it so good too is it's such a like a breath fresh of air, like breath of fresh air. I can't speak.
That works too.
But like it's like you start out with armor as your like protagonist. You know what I mean? It's such like a weird book. People's main criticism is that it's not X-Men. You know what I mean? It's more reminiscent of like a New Mutants. That's the main thing I hear about that people don't like. And it's like, well, fuck you, dude. That's that's an opinion.
Yeah.
That doesn't make the book bad. It's a good
like
book.
New Mutants too.
Oh yeah. I mean,
like, all right, tempt me with a good time.
Right. And I've only read up to number 6 because, you know, like we said earlier, I buy everything. Right. Like the 6 issues. Yeah. See, that's what bugs me about him too. He'll tell me like, hey, the Ultimates was really good this month, and I'll be like, oh, I'll let you know what I think next year.
Buy floppies, bro, not trades. Otherwise, you'll be waiting for a year after it comes out.
Yeah, and then you have like no space in your house and no money in your wallet. Like that's my issue with floppies.
Yeah,
fair enough.
He agrees.
I'm moving more and more to the trade life because I just don't have the space. And also though, my brain is terrible when it comes to memory. And so if I'm reading like 6 different titles every single month and I have to wait maybe a month or 2 months if they do that stupid delay thing, like, oh, we're only going to release bi-monthly. Like, why? I'm not going to remember. So then I'm going to have to read the book twice, and that's fine. But like, if it was an okay book and I'm just waiting for it to like really find its feet, I don't want to read that issue twice. I want to read it once in one sitting because then I remember the story. I know what's happening and it's all right there. And I'm like, wait, what did they just reference? And I can just flip back 23 pages and it's right there instead of like, ah, shit. Now I got to find which box did I put it in? It's a whole, but I also have like 12 long boxes and stuff. So, and like I have piles of comics next to my desk and it's dumb and out of control. And I know I'm not the norm and that's fine. I never have been, but like I'm a trade waiter because I just want to spend $20 and get the whole story.
I hate it too. It's a blessing and a curse because like I said, like I'm on the Ultimates number 7 and Hunter's telling me about all the fun, awesome shit they're up to in number 15.
Hey, I don't spoil it for you.
You don't spoil it unless I ask, but like I'm like, I want to be there so bad, but the big companies are so bad about like getting them in a good amount of time. Like Absolute Batman is out to like number 11, I think. Is that right, Hunter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and like number 1 of the trade just came out.
Yeah.
It takes the company's time, man.
Yeah, but like the Massive Verse, if y'all have read that, like they're really good about that. I think number 37 comes out like next month, and the volume that has 31 through 36 is coming out. It came out like 2 days ago. That's like awesome. They're really good about the turnaround times.
I just feel like DC and Marvel just have so many books to get out.
Oh yeah. And they collect everything, and not all of it might even sell. So that's I understand their hesitance, but like God, like there's no good, because if you trade weight, you're behind everybody else. If you buy floppies, you're kind of fucked on space and money. If you read digitally, they don't even put the most recent issues up until like 3 months have passed. So you're the only good way to read comics is to not buy them. You know what I mean? It's hard. Like it's really hard to be a consumer and enjoy these American comics. Like I would love to be caught up on the Ultimates right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you're stuck on the trades, and like I think that's that's a thing that confuses me because you pay all the money and the creators for the floppies. So when it comes to collecting them into a trade, like the only expense is what, combining PDFs and like
Right.
formatting for the trade. Like, so you're paying for a couple pages of art and formatting and text and all the stuff. And the rest of it, you're just like copy pasting your PDF into one long file. So it's cheaper to produce a trade and you're getting more profit out of it because you already paid for the production of everything. So, well, why are you dragging your feet?
You know,
Big
that kind of
dude.
reminds me of something. Aiden, do you have the trade on you?
Which one?
Trade.
No.
Oh,
Ah,
you know what? Let's show it off. I haven't even shown it off yet.
Do it.
I have the first 4 issues of GDI collected. I paid for these myself. This is kind of like what I like. I have them in the DC compact size, you know, the digest
Yeah.
5x5 by 8.5.
and that's how we'll be doing all our trades.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more pro consumer, and like we have the other idea too that we were floating around to have like full size 6.625 by 10.5s, but when you have like 3 or more of these out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was also kind of our idea, and have those be uniform.
Yeah.
But it's anything to be more pro consumer is kind of the idea. But like I don't know, it's really hard to be a consumer when they're like you said, Punk, all they have to do is organize some PDFs, and they just won't for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
hard to be a consumer.
And like I get it. You've got to prioritize the books that are doing numbers and selling out at the distributor levels, and selling whatever number of comics is considered a lot at this point, because I don't have any idea. Having been in indie, so I'm like, shit, you made 35 copies of your book? That's awesome. Like, that's insane. So like I fully realize that my understanding of the direct market is just garbage. But I don't get, like, if it seems like it could be done so simply, you don't even have to like do a new trade dress, right? Like you can use the same title page, just swap one title from, like, just swap some things, keep the creative team the same, keep the book title the same. You can reuse one of the issues, like variant covers, as your trade cover. So that's already there. Just take off the number and it's like, boom. What are we doing? Like, what are we, why are we overthinking it? But I love that you're thinking about consumers in even the presentation. Because like my collaborator and I, when we did our comic, we did the 5.5 by 8.5 size because we wanted it to feel like a, old school punk zine of just like, hey, it's small, we can fit them in our back pocket and we can like hand them out to people, and they don't have to worry about like this big clunky thing that now they have to figure out where it's going to go. It's like, nah, just stick it in your pocket, like it'll fit.
Right. Like seriously, like,
yeah,
it's just the best size. Like that's me and Hunter talked about this like at length when the DC compacts first came out. That was the best thing that company could have done, and I love how much they've like embraced it.
They're selling really well.
Yeah.
I feel like manga heavily outsells, and this is not me trashing on Marvel or DC. They're great, but like,
of course not. Yeah.
I feel like manga outsells Marvel and DC in terms of being the market because of how accessible it is.
Yeah.
And how it's just more accessible in every way. The size, the price, just all of it.
Yep.
True story. Because my younger sister, she went to Japan earlier this summer, and she picked me up the newest edition of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in manga. I mean, I can't read it. I can't read Japanese, but like just to see, one, how small it is, two, the newsprint, and three, guess where she just actually, here we go. Guess where she picked it up at, Punk. Guess where she picked it up at?
Is it at like a gas station?
At a 7-Eleven.
Hell yeah.
Like, sure, back in the 70s, you could get comics I mean, I wasn't there, but on the spinner racks and shit. at the drugstore.
Yeah.
But nowadays you have to drive to a comic store.
Yep.
There'll maybe be three or four in your city. If you live out in the country, you got to drive 2 hours to go buy your comics.
Yeah.
And in Japan, you can buy whatever you want, the latest edition, at the freaking 7-Eleven, like for $3.50, mind you. And that little book had like 5 chapters in it, I think. Like I was looking at it in shock. I was like, this is why their market's so good. Because I read during COVID that Demon Hunter or Demon Slayer outsold Marvel and DC. The entire company's got outsold by one manga. And that seeing this like little book in my hand kind of just made me go back to that. I'm like, holy shit. The 2 entire companies got outsold because the consumer market in Japan is just so much like better. And I hate to be all like, oh wow, Japan is so beautiful and exotic. Like that's not the kind of person I am. I'm being just objective about it. Like, yeah, it's a better comic market. I could talk about this all day. I'm so sorry.
No, I think it's fascinating because it's not just that it's accessible. It's not just that it's, you know, the newsprint makes it cheaper and it's all black and white. And so that's easier to produce in mass quantities. But it's also like a cultural difference. Like, yeah, we've got the quadrillion dollar MCU and DCU now starting up, and the movies are going gangbusters and people are wearing comic book t-shirts all over the place, which is great. And I love all of that. Like, I love it because people that made fun of me in high school for reading comics are now asking me about what happened in the latest.
I'm kind of in a similar boat. I used to get bullied all the time for reading manga, and now everyone's all over it. So
yeah. And it's like,
where was this 10 years ago?
Yeah, you asshole. Yeah, it was definitely 10 years ago that I was in high school. Yeah, that's for sure. 15. No, God. Oh, God, 20. It was like 20. I was in high school 25 years ago. That's what is true.
Sorry for the existential crisis.
It's fine. It's fine. I had that actually. My daughter started college last week. And so like, as she was starting, I was like, oh God, I was like just 10 months older than you when I found out I was going to be a dad. Oh God. That was my crisis, but away from my therapy session, and back to the manga stuff. Like it's a cultural thing where it's just widely accessible as literature. Like there's no distinction between, oh, that's a prose novel. Oh, that's for poetry. Oh, that's our manga. Like if a store sells reading material, they sell manga. If they are a gas station, they sell manga. Like why can't, and maybe it's just because everybody within comic fandom talks about missing the spinner racks at grocery stores and, you know, put them back on the shelves at like dollar stores, because that's where I bought a ton. Well, that's where my mom bought a ton of comics when I was a kid, was at the dollar store. Like they had bundles of 3 comics for $1, and it was like, okay, I didn't know any better, and I was like, this is cool shit. And I still love Valiant Comics, even though they've made some very questionable choices.
Oh yeah,
but like I will forever love Valiant Comics because that's what I grew up reading. And I wouldn't have grown up reading it if they didn't have their books at Family Dollar. And so I love stuff like Ollie's, the bargain shop thing. And I don't know if that's a Midwest specific thing. I have no idea. But they have a huge, like they have trades for super cheap. And they have bundles of like 5 or 10 comics for $5, which I'm like, cool. Yeah, do that. Like do more of that, please. And
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I was running out of time and the thought process. So yeah, you're perfect timing.
I was just gonna say, I actually used to get all my comics at a half price book. Half price books. That's how I got into comics in the first place. I got like a ton of my trades there.
Yeah.
I used to read a ton of Spider-Man when I was a kid, and I still love Spider-Man even now. Like Jonathan Hickman's running Ultimate Spider-Man, incredible stuff. Yeah. But like, yeah, I used to get so many Spider-Man trades at half price books.
Dude,
they were super cheap.
For me, it's sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
For me, I got most of my collection at a thrift store here in Sacramento called The Cave. You got to hit The Cave if you go to Sacramento. That's for all your viewers. But yeah, I'm sorry. I bet interrupted.
I love hearing about shops like that. I keep seeing there's like 3 people specifically on social media. They're like, "Oh, I went to my local thrift store, check out my haul." And I'm like, "What the you got like 75 floppies for 10 cents each? Get out of here, bro." And they're like, good. It's not just all the 90s like slop that was coming out. It's like recent stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, I love finding out about shops like that in Sacramento. Sacramento, that's how you spell it. No,
We're shouting out shops here. I got it. It's not a thrift shop. It is a comic shop, but More Fun Comics and Games is my go-to spot. The staff is incredibly friendly. They love talking about comics. It's just a chill place to hang out at, even if I'm not going to pick up my pull. It's a great spot.
I like it. Now, are you also in Sacramento?
Oh, no. I'm up in Denton, Texas.
I was gonna say, I definitely know where Denton is. I know where Dent is. We have a Dent. Ohio.
What's Denton, Texas?
Can't kill
I have to find a new comic shop once I move closer to downtown Dallas in November.
Well, I know that there are a bunch of folks in the LBP community that are Texans because I see them meeting up in real life all the time. And I'm like, I want to go to Texas and hang out with you.
I'm going to sound so stupid here. What is LBP?
Long box
punt.
I figured Aiden's hitting me with all of these acronyms. I just got to try and slide mine in and feel like I'm part. I never use acronyms, honestly.
That's why I got confused.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bunch of people that have not only been on the show, but also interact on social media a lot that are in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. And it's just like there's a high volume of, and I don't know if it's just because that's Texas. And because Texas is so damn big that you can drive straight through the state in like 74 hours or something insane. I ran through Dallas's airport once, and that was just as a connecting flight. That's my experience in Dallas. I stopped for a beer though, and I had a good beer. I don't remember what it was.
If it was at an airport, it was probably like what, $30?
Yeah. Well, I didn't pay for it. My buddy did, but yeah, it was not a cheap. Like we just had we each had a beer, and then we went to the next flight, and I think he dropped like $40 including tip. And I was like, God
damn.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including the bill.
Including the bill, man.
I love Texas living expenses.
Woo!
That's to be California.
Well, yeah. I wasn't gonna rub it in your face, but
that's why I live with my mom.
Yeah, living with his mom. Hell yeah. Save that money. I would too if I was in California, because I know I wouldn't be able to afford anything out there. Like, how much is a bottle of water? I'll just not drink water. That's fine.
Right. I'll just wait till it rains.
$27 for one bottle of water.
That's like
cheap
prices.
I would love that.
That's stupid.
27.
What's gas like for you out there? Are you one of those like, I live in such a crowded town, I don't even drive, I just use public transit? Are you one of those?
Oh, I wish Sacramento had all kinds of public transit. No, gas is like $4.85 right now at the Chevron.
Okay.
It's not great, but I've seen worse out here.
I was expecting you to say like $7.15 or some stupid.
Nah, you got to remember that Northern Cali and Southern Cali are different parts of the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. It's only like $3.15 here, so and that's high. Yeah. It was like $2.74 just a week ago, and then all the gas companies decided they wanted more money, and so they just raised all the prices. I'm gonna put on my tin hat for a second. I feel like gas companies, specifically that run gas stations, all have like a secret holographic meeting room, right? Like every villainous conglomerate ever in any major movie has. I'm picturing like the Fingerman in V for Vendetta, right? Where there's like the table of just the government. They're like, hey, what are we doing about gas prices? And the giant holographic voices are like, we're making more money. And they just, they say that and they're like, okay, yeah. And then they all raise their prices by 70 cents because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All right, my tin cap is off. I'm also out of notes. So that means that officially I'm done with questions for you, but I still have 2 more things to do. The first is we're going to pose. I know we practiced beforehand, but we're going to pose. I'm going to get my keyboard shortcut. This basically just makes my life easier is what this is. And it's fun to pose with guests that come on. So keyboard shortcut there. 3, 2, 1. All right. The other thing is too late, Aiden. Nope, you missed it, man.
Wow, you messed up, Aiden.
I'll
never forgive you. I'm gonna hold a grudge against you for the rest of my life. You ruined it. You ruined the interview.
Unless you're
my Wi-Fi's froze. My Wi-Fi's down.
We can redo it. It was the Wi-Fi. We'll give you a pass. Stay tuned on. I'll make sure that everybody's got it because we agreed, right? Like this is what we were. Yeah. All right. Okay. I just took a ton of screenshots. The other thing that we're gonna do is this is the thing that I warned you about. I love doing this show because I love talking about comics with creators, with other fans of the medium, and people that just have different backgrounds, different life experiences, different gas prices than I do. And so part of just acknowledging that difference is I like ending every episode by turning the mic over to my guests. I stop talking. And if there's anything that you want people to hear, it could be a sales pitch. It could be go to Global Comics and read all of our comics. It could be vertical comics are definitely the future of comics. Like the content doesn't matter at all to me. It's whatever you want to talk about. So because Hunter got thrown under the bus last time, I'm throwing you, Aiden, under the bus.
Aiden.
And you are starting this one. The floor is yours. I'll shut up.
No problem. Yeah. Main thing I want to say is just read GDI, Gold Diggers Incorporated. I put a lot of work into it. It's like my second job, and I want to succeed. But more importantly, I want everyone to succeed with me. So if you're interested in making comics, you could find us on Twitter, Team _official. Hit us up. We can talk about something. But yeah. Hi, Mama. That's my girl. Yeah, that's all I got to say. And also, fuck you, Hunter. There's that too. If he's watching.
I love it. I love the aggression. What a way to end that. Hunter, how do you respond?
Rebuttal.
If anyone wants to get into writing comics, I'm gonna plug something here. And I forgot to put him on my Rushmore. I started getting more familiar with his writing after I started doing classes with him, but he's great. Scott Snyder does classes. It's called Best Jacket Press. It's $7 a month, and you get access to all these classes he's done in the past and the live ones in the future. They're great classes. I've learned so much from them. If you want to write comics, go for it.
And also not the first person to talk about how insanely helpful Scott Snyder is. So
he's great. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
there's so much about how helpful he is.
And he's a genuine human being. Like he's just we've interacted on social media, and he's just a nice person.
Yeah, he's great.
He made Big Bane. Like, come on, He made the Big Bane,
the big one. Yeah,
the Abomination.
This was a ton of fun, gents. I'm glad that timing worked out and we were able to get this together. Thanks for just going all over the place. I don't know what happened to my blood sugar right before I started, but I suddenly got this burst of like, I'm going to do a show. So thanks for bearing with me in my manic insanity. I appreciate it. We're out of stuff, so I'm going to try not to ramble. Hang tight afterwards. I got some logistics for you, but for everybody else, vote for me for most engaging podcast host on the CBC Awards. That's the Comic Book Community Awards, cbcawards.org. It's linked in the description below. Of course, that's the only thing I'm trying to push. Voting ends October 11th, so you have a month and a little bit more than a month to vote for me and do it because I like awards, and I've never gotten an award for doing any of my shows ever that I've ever done in broadcasting, and so this would be really awesome to win. And it's in such a rad category that I am humbled and honored to be a part of the finalists, and also I really want to win. So vote for me. Do that in the link below. Share the show with your friends if you want to do that. If you don't, that's fine too. I don't do the YouTube thing where I'm going to pressure you at all. So if you liked it, awesome. Let me know. If you didn't, that's fine. You can let me know. I'll just delete your comment later because I have the power because it's my show. What's a good podcast without a good tagline? This one's mine. Good. Do what's good for you, punks, and read some indie comics because we collectively are out of here.